Hello and welcome to KNE Karting North East, where today we'll be trying out their new fleet of karts. The old fleet had parity issues with up to 11 seconds between the fastest and slowest karts. This turned most races into a bit of a kart lottery. So we're all hoping this new fleet of karts have much better parity. The new fleet of karts are Sodi SR4s. This is a newer design with front wheel guards, weighing in at 154 kilos with the Honda GX390 engine. These are not petrol but LPG and should put out around 13 horsepower. And here's what they look like in their new liveries. Now let's head into the briefing room, then out on track to try these karts for the first time. So, my first impression was very good. The kart felt balanced, it was predictable. I was happy with the overall speed, but most of all, I think the power coming out of corners was much better than the old fleet. The real test for these karts is going to come during the race, where we should see if there are any major differences in top speed between the karts. This was a huge problem on the old fleet, with some karts massively faster than others and some karts just horrendously slow. Right, onto the race, and I've qualified third. Only a couple of tenths off pole position, and all of the times are super close, something that wasn't always the case with the old fleet. This is literally the first time these karts have been out, so there were a few issues on the grid. Some karts dying or not starting, but I'm sure once the engines have a few hours on them, it'll sort itself out. This is the race, and as you can see, we didn't all get off the line very well. As I said before, this is the first time these karts have been used in anger, so I'm sure they'll sort that out in no time. What we're more interested in is the overall speed and performance of the karts versus each other. here we go onto the straight, and this is a good test to see if I can gain on him or if he's pulling away from me. And really it was even Stevens. I've only just started to catch up here because I'm in his draft, and that is pretty big around Warden. I've caught him up a little bit there as well, possibly just took the corner a bit nicer, but I've definitely not got a faster kart than him, and he doesn't have a faster kart than me. So these ones are pretty even Steven. We'll just stick with him throughout this lap and see if we gain or lose anywhere. Well, apart from the tyres over-gripping in some of the corners and causing the kart to bunny hop, they were pretty even that whole lap. Here's some race highlights before we deliver our verdict. So that was loads of fun. Probably the most fun I've had at KNE for a long time. Really close, good, clean racing. Karts felt equal, at least the ones that I was racing with all felt equal. Ended up coming in third. Not a bad result from that one, but just look at the gap in the end. Less than a second covering the top three. That's what you want from rental kart racing. A lot of drivers from that race made it onto this year's fastest lap leaderboard, underlining just how much better these karts are compared to the last ones. So in conclusion, I think we can confidently say these karts are faster, they have more power, and based on the race that I took part in and the races that I watched, the karts are all pretty much equal. And after talking to staff at the track, they're only going to get faster. So we might even see some of the young light ones get into the 66s. So in short, I'm a big fan of the new karts. I'm very excited about the championship, and I can see me spending a lot more time here. See you at the track.